It's the Rebel Yell podcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We are here in part because of our good friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates, the proud sponsor of the Rebel Yell podcast, have been all year and will continue to be as we wind down not only the spring sports season, but also the 2025-2026 high school sports year. We are saluting our final regular season players of the week, teams of the week this week. Next week, it's our player of the year for both baseball and softball. Final baseball player of the week is Charlie Manzi, senior from Indiana. What a incredible run that the Little Indians have been on, and a lot of it is thanks to this young man. Charlie, we appreciate you joining us. Congrats on all your success.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So have you had to take out one of those storage rooms? You know, you kind of rent a storage area. Have you had to take one of those out for all your gold medals now?
Yeah, I think we were talking with our AD, and he said he might have to get a whole new trophy case just for the baseball team.
That's right. You know, the trophies, the medals, everything. It's a 3-year run that we're talking about. Your sophomore, junior, and senior year, and of course your junior and senior year, double gold. Before we start talking about all that, Charles Manzi, am I right there?
The legal name is Robert Charles Manzi.
Oh.
Yeah.
So where did we ditch the Robert and stick with the Charlie?
So my dad is Robert Francis. And so Robert's from my dad's side. Charles is from my mom's side. And they call him Little Bobby because he's a junior. So my mom didn't want me to be littlest Bobby. So we want Charlie.
Even smaller. So that's good. So, I mean, does anyone ever call you Bobby besides, maybe?
Yeah, my friends are joking with me all the time. Okay. They'll say it.
Well, now the secret's out. So hopefully this doesn't start but you're not opposed to being called Bobby,
No, I have no problem with it.
All right. So Charlie, it is. You told me after the WPIAL championship game that this kind of all started. First of all, your freshman year under Coach Thompson. You guys have a good year. You win 16 games, reached the WPIAL semifinals, and also qualified for the PIAA playoffs. Did you realize at the time, with a lot of these kids that you grew up playing with, whether they were your age or whether they were older, that this program was about to go on this kind of historic run?
Yeah, I realized freshman year I wasn't on the varsity team at that time, but I went to watch a lot of those playoff games. We watched, and I mean, there's studs all over the field. I knew we were really good. And that freshman year, I think Greg Minnick was hurt that year, so he didn't throw that much. And we returned a lot of our starters from that year, and I knew we have a shot on making it all the way next year. And that sophomore year was just first time through of making to WPIAL and state. And since then, I knew junior year that we were going to have a solid team and we were going to get revenge for that 2014.
Yeah. In between your freshman and your sophomore year, Coach Thompson, which did an outstanding job with this program and might get kind of lost in the shuffle, but let's give him his due. He steps down, and that opens the door for a new coach, Coach Petrov, who has been outstanding. You guys were familiar with Coach Petrov. Just talk a little bit about that difference, and was it something you guys, you players felt early in your sophomore year, or was it kind of just business as usual, just the new man filling out the lineup card?
Yeah, I think it was. Bill's a great coach, Coach Thompson, great coach. He was much more strict than Dan, but he was a great coach. And coming into Dan, I think we were more relaxed and we were more easygoing, as I would say. So I think we played more fun. Like, we had more fun.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun playing under Dan. It was like playing for one of your boys. Like, he's always been friends with us, and I think it was felt immediately.
And that probably served you guys well, because from every, I haven't met each and every one of you, but the players that I have talked to or met, um, seem to fall into that category. Kind of laid back, kind of, will run through a brick wall when they have to,
Yeah.
but just want, you want to play, you want to have fun, and so his leadership demeanor kind of was perfect for you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, all the talent we had, all these kids, we were able to work whenever. And I think we practiced with pants like 2 times in my sophomore through senior year. So like a lot of shorts practices, and he was really relaxed, hitting. But all those kids, I also think it wasn't just practice. All those kids were in the gym a lot. They were hitting a lot, had their own throwing program. So they really wanted to win. So we were able to be relaxed at practice and get our work in.
Yeah, and get your best out of it.
Yeah.
Now, it's easy for teenagers, not the badmouth teenagers, but it is easy that if you're given a lot of rope, if you're given, a lot of freedom per se, that you can take advantage of it and maybe cross lines that shouldn't be crossed. But it sounds like you guys amongst yourselves, and I'm sure Coach Petrov had some rules, but as you mentioned, not as strict as the former staff. But you guys amongst yourselves, did you sort of check in on everybody and make sure that everybody was doing their stuff and the coaches didn't have to get involved because you guys were policing yourself?
Yeah, I think we had, especially when Dan took over that freshman year, we had great senior leadership. Ben Ryan was one of the best players I was able to play
Right.
with, and he'd check up on players. And a lot of times I'd be in here working with teammates. I know other people would be in here working with teammates, just getting their swings in, getting better every day. So I think we were able to get better outside of practice. And I think that's what really pushed us forward into becoming the dynasty we've become.
Yeah, dynasty is a good description. Um, you were very noticeable last year as a junior. Um, did that make, from at least from a leadership standpoint, did that make this year easier in that you took some of the leadership role upon yourself a year ago?
Yeah, I think it helped a lot this year. We've had, especially with how young our team was this year. I think we had 3 freshmen, a bunch of sophomores. So I think it made it easier, especially on me, Ethan Shank, and Sully. We were the 3 like big leaders on the team. So I think it made it easier on us that we took over some leaderships last year and made it easier for us to help. Especially, I mean, if it's giving rides, getting swings in, helping with anything with those younger guys, I think it helped us be prepared for that, and that helped some of those freshmen just rise up and be ready for the moment.
You mentioned Sully Benhus, Ethan Shank, um, other leaders on this team. Just give a little shout out as to what it's been like playing with them and on this journey with those guys.
I mean, it's been a journey. We've played together since we were 8-year-old playing machine pitch in Punxsutawney. So I think we've been together our entire lives. I think getting to high school, we were the 3 sophomores on that 24 team on the first ride to WPIAL State. So we've been on this ride together. We like to call ourselves the Big Three, just
Yeah,
because we've been together for a while.
yeah,
But
three amigos.
being able to ride with them throughout this entire time has been incredible. And now we get to play against each other in the PSAC.
Yeah, some friendly fire
Yeah.
as you guys go head to head over hopefully the next 4 years.
Yeah.
I mentioned when I talked to you after the WPIAL championship, you told me that this team over the last year and a half had been so driven by that PIAA championship loss to Holy Ghost Prep in 2024. Tough loss, one that got away. I think you described it as the worst day of your life.
Yeah.
Um, just talk a little bit about that day and what I just said, the drive that it gave you and your teammates over the last couple of years to make sure that that would not happen again.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was on deck for that WPIAL championship. Andrew McGee hits a line drive down right field line. The right fielder makes a catch on it, and I was just fell down, sat there, watched them celebrate. That was one of the worst days of my life. Then around that line, I remember I told our coach, Tyler Shank, we'll be back next year, don't worry, and made it right back next year. Said the same thing at the state champion, made it back there too.
Wow. It's really amazing because we have seen back-to-back winners. I think you guys are number 5 now, the 5th school from the WPIAL to win back-to-back state championships. Moon in the early part of the century, Bethel Park in the early part of this decade, and then in between twice by Riverside. So the 4th school, 5th team to pull it off. So it is rare air, but to really do this 3 years in a row, to go the distance, you go all the way to the WPIAL championship in 2024, lose a tough one, go to the state championship, lose a tough one. So it's back-to-back silver. And then to do it again a year ago, and then to do it again this year with players coming and going, important players, graduating.
Yeah.
It's really remarkable. And you guys, maybe you sense it now, but I think in 10, 15, 20 years from now, when you look back, you guys maybe get together. It is something that you guys can be very, very proud of.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And our community has been awesome too. I went out to lunch the other day and I probably got congratulated by 8 different people. I mean, it's just incredible.
Well, did any of those 8 different people pay for your lunch? That's what I want to know.
I was out to lunch with my boss. He took me out after I won.
Oh, okay, so the boss paid for it.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. I mean, really, you guys are rock stars in Indiana right now, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to pay for another lunch for at least 2-3 months until you go to school.
Yeah, that'd be nice, that's for sure.
You got to play your card. Say, do you know who I am? And when you drop your name, I'm Charlie Manzi. They'll be like, this is on us. So, I'm not asking you to become a bum, but I'm just saying, maybe take advantage of your celebrity status while you have the chance. So the one thing that I loved, I'm sure it wasn't great on Coach Dan's blood pressure, but the incredible run last year in both the WPIL and PIAA playoffs is just mind-boggling. Every game down to the wire. Usually, I think half of them were like beyond 7 innings into extra innings. And you guys kept finding ways to win. That kind of mentality is dangerous because no matter what's going on in the field, whether it's the 1st inning, 4th inning, or 7th inning, whether you're up or down, you have now this belief that one way or another, we're going to find a way to win, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dan said it perfectly after every game. He was never truly stressed because he knew eventually we were going to win somehow, some way. It was just a matter of fact of when it was going to happen. I think we all believe that too. So I think even down, I think you're down 3 runs versus East Penn going in late, battled back, came back, and took that game into second day and got that done in 17 innings. Yep. I think it was just whenever we were ready, whenever the time came, someone was gonna step up, make a play, get a hit, and we're gonna win somehow, some way.
Yeah, that's a dangerous mentality when you have that strong of a belief because game in and game out, you're finding ways to come out with the W. You were a big part of that. Oftentimes, whether with your bat or your arm, you were able to be the difference in a game. And I'll ask our producer, Chris Lackner, now to show us one of those times in which you were the hero for the Little Indians. Go ahead, Christopher.
2-1 pitch, fly ball towards the right field corner, hit well, and it's gone! Charlie Manzi in opposite field, right field corner home run. Indiana wins its first ever baseball championship in the WPIAL.
Airs 2-2.
Magical moment that you'll probably remember the rest of your life. Just talk about what was going through your head in the batter's box and after you hit the pitch.
I blacked out. I was insane. I just remember, I think I fouled off a curveball or something, so I was thinking fastball was going to come. I was actually trying to pull that pitch like 500 feet to left field, which somehow it went the other way, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Worked out just as well.
Now, somebody had said that you pulled a muscle or whatever. You looked like the penguin as you were rounding second base there. What was that all about?
I cramped in both calves. It happened my at bat before I was running to first. Both my calves cramped, so I hit it, and as soon as I started running, both calves cramped and my quads cramped. So really awkward run. And I think every time someone brings it up, it's like, oh, that was sick. But your run though, that was terrible.
Yeah. But that, I mean, I know I'll be laying in bed, I'll get a cramp, and that hurts like Hades. So this joyous moment in your life, and you're probably in physical pain.
Yeah, I mean, I just touched home. After I touched home, I dogpiled. I had to protect my nose because I broke that earlier in the playoffs. And I remember they get up from the dog pile. I can't even stand up. My calves hurt so bad. It took me about a minute or two to get up then.
Crazy. That, by the way, for those who don't know, that was the walk-off game-winning, the golden home run in the 2025 championship victory over Elizabeth Forward in the 20th inning or whatever it was. By the way, nice gesture by that. I don't know if it was the pitcher, but one of the Warriors, gave you a little fist pump as you were rounding third base. That was a nice gesture.
Yeah, that's a pitcher. That's the same kid that we faced this year in the WPIAL championship.
Yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, so you guys now, after the 2025 season, come into this year, again, having lost some key players, big old target. Everybody, whether it's right or wrong, everybody in the media has Indiana ranked number one because of some key players back. But again, key players were lost. And you guys lived up to the lofty expectations. I know Coach Dan was riding me for ranking you guys number one, but it kind of was a no-brainer. But again, once the game started back in March, you guys were able to hit the deck running. Was there a point in time when you realized, everybody has belief before the season begins, but was there a point early in the season or maybe midway through the season that you thought, man, we could do this again?
Yeah, I think after our second section series, I think we mercied our first 4 section series. And I think we really thought we definitely had a chance at WPIAL. But I think it wasn't up until that Somerset game where we were able to beat them 10-0 that I honestly thought we had a real shot at winning states. But it was quite literally the opposite of last season. Last season, I thought we had a chance at states the entire year. But this year, it wasn't really until that Somerset game.
Yeah, it was a growing thing. Yeah, that is interesting. The postseason, let's go back to the WPL playoffs this spring, begins same way. Last year, I think it was Ambridge that you guys beat 1-0 in 9 innings. Here, you got it done in 7, but a very good knock team. You guys win by a score of 1-0. And when you're talking about 1-run victories, you're talking about anything that could go wrong. Just a bloop hit by them or a miscue by you guys, and the entire thing is totally different. Just so impressive. Again, you were part of the staff during the WPL playoffs where you shut out Knock, you shut out Derry, and then you beat Elizabeth Forward in the rematch 4-0. You pitched in the championship game 1 hit over 6 innings with 8 strikeouts. Just talk about everybody, including yourself, that took to the mound. It's nice. It's anytime you can go 3-0 in the district playoffs is great. 3 straight shutouts is kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, we lost one of our best arms. Sully got hurt right before playoffs, which was really rough. But I knew that before the season, I knew I'd have to step up in playoffs and get some more innings. I knew Brady, I trust him fully. I knew he was going to get done. But Shane McHugh just stepping up and throwing as well as he did
Yeah.
the entire time is just incredible.
Yeah, so you win your second straight WPIAL championship, head into the state playoffs. You mentioned the victory over Somerset to get you guys rolling and winning convincingly. And that's where this was a different run than last year. Last year, you guys had all these thrillers and all these extra inning games. 10-0 over Somerset in the first round. You beat a very good Hopewell team 10-0 in the quarterfinals. You were down against Archbishop Wood, but then you come back big and end up winning by 9, only 9, 13-4. So that kind of had a different dynamic to it as well, is that you guys weren't coming down to the wire with all these dramatic victories. You guys were actually blowing teams out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, it was just completely different from the year before.
Right.
All those games were close 1-2-run games, but I think our bats just came alive, and it was incredible to watch. I think we went 33 or something runs, 37 runs, and then like 40 hits in those 3 games, which if you told me that we were going to do that before that even started, I told you you're crazy.
33 runs scored and only 4 allowed. The shutout streak, 5 straight postseason shutouts, ended with the victory over Archbishop Wood. But again, a convincing victory in the end by a score of 13-4. How do you think, before we start talking about the Holy Ghost prep game, that this season went for you specifically? We talked, you mentioned a little bit about the pitching and how successful you were, but as a hitter, you put up some pretty big numbers. Were you satisfied with your production overall this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think what helped me this year is I just never looked at my stats. I think this past couple of years I've been stat checking, which hasn't been great. But this year I just did not check my stats once, and I think I'm happy with what came out. I was trying to beat Ben Ryan's home run total. That's the one thing I wish I would have done, but I'm still so excited about how this year went.
Yeah. And you, as I mentioned, a big part of it. You also had to be very excited. We were talking before we got going how you missed out in the state championship win against Montoursville last year. You were there, but you were injured, ripped your knee up pretty good in the state playoffs in the Marathon East Pennsboro game. And you were unable to play. Again, kind of a crappy feeling selfishly, but you were thrilled for the team, especially after you guys were able to hold on for the win 5-4. So you especially had to be pretty fired up when you guys disposed of Archbishop Wood, guaranteeing yourself a trip back to Penn State in which you would be actively playing.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, that game against Holy Ghost Prep Priley in the state championship game, that started as a sophomore. And just that was incredible. And then missing out the year prior or the year after that. So being able to go back my senior year and finish off my career at Happy Valley, I mean, there's nothing else I could ask for.
You're on the mound, 6-3, headed to the bottom of the 7th. And here come the Firebirds. They have a couple big hits. It's a 1-run game at 6-5. A guy on base, I think 1 out, and dude drives one to left. I believe it was left field, and it just misses the foul pole. I've heard it was about 4 feet. I mean, did you get a good look at it? How close was it?
I mean, he hit it, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And then just was watching it go, and once it went foul, my heart dropped, and just watching it go foul, I got such a sigh of relief.
Yeah, because you weren't out of. Was there one out or no outs?
I think there was no outs still at
Yeah,
that
I
point.
think you're right. Now that I
That was
mentioned,
after they had those 3 great hits off me.
yeah, boom, boom, boom. 2 runs in, runner in scoring position. Dude smokes one, just foul. And it still could have gone south. So that's a big time credit to you to rear back and not even allow them to tie the game with 3 consecutive outs.
Yeah.
For you guys to hold on and win. The new life you mentioned, the heart drops and but big sigh of relief, and it's like almost like a big slap in the face. It gets your attention, and then you go back to work.
Yeah, I mean, it was after that I realized I have to lock in. I got to hit my spots, and that's what I did. Was able to strike out that kid, and then get the next 2 to pop out.
Were you at the bottom of the dog pile again?
No, I ran right after I did it. I did my little celebration at Sully, and then I hugged Ethan and apologized for about 3 minutes for putting him through that. He had to block a bunch.
Well, he came up big. You guys all came up big.
Yeah.
PIAA champions for a second straight year after winning back-to-back gold in the district. So your time from this dynasty has come and gone. You have graduated. Now it's on to Seton Hill University. Just talk a little bit about what prompted you to head to Greensburg for your the next phase of your academic and baseball career.
Yeah, so growing up in Indiana, obviously IEP town, so know a bunch about the PSAC, and I think since I got into high school, I've really watched a lot of PSAC games, and every time you hear anything about good PSAC schools, it's always about Seton Hill and how they're ran. So whenever first Coach Maz reached out to me, I was like, program's great already. I was able to talk with him a bunch, talk with Coach Clay, and he left for Pitt, but I talked to them a bunch, and it was just incredible. Everything about them I love. Close to home, incredible program. I think they've had 40-plus wins over the past 4 years each year. So it wasn't that hard of a decision.
Yeah.
I just knew it was home.
How far is that travel-wise? About an hour?
From my house, it's 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, not at all.
All right. Do you know what you're going to be studying or what you want to maybe major in, or haven't you gone that far yet?
Yeah, I'm majoring in accounting right now. Currently, I have an internship where I'm accounting, and I enjoy it. So, I want to major it there.
So, so you're very good at math.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, I'm very terrible at math. So anytime we get anybody on here that's good at math, I have to hold on. I have to pull out this bad boy from ancient times and see if you even know what this is. Every time I show this to somebody who's very good at math, they have no idea what it is. So let's see if you can buck the system here, my friend. You ready?
Is that just the counting thing? You just count on it?
Yeah. It's an abacus. What was that reaction? Oh.
I just remember playing with those in kindergarten.
Well, for some of us, we still lean on those things. You washed your hands of the abacus in kindergarten. I'm still working on it. It helps with my times tables. Charlie, we appreciate your time. Congratulations. Your legacy and those of your fellow teammates is etched forever, really. What you guys have been able to do. One more question.
All right.
Now that the big 3 has gone on, will this team continue to be a contender in both the district and state playoffs?
I think for sure. We left it in great hands. There's a bunch of great young players. Chase Force, Brady Oaks, Shane McHugh, Ben Coburn. I think there's a bunch of good young players who are going to do great jobs. And The coaching staff is always going to be incredible. Yep. Ben Hudock, Dan Petroff, Tyler Shank. I think they're in great hands.
When Indiana makes it back for a fourth straight trip to the WPIAL championships, and you come as a fan, make sure you track me down. I'll visit with you. Maybe we'll even throw you on the air or something.
All right. Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, my man. Charlie Manzi, senior, now a former Indiana Low Indian and a future Seton Hill Griffin. Kind enough to join us. He is our WPIAL final boys baseball player of the week for the 2026 campaign. We'd like to thank Charlie for joining us, Robert Charles, if you will.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We thank Edgar Snyder and Associates, our sponsor. Thanks to Chris Lackner as well. I'm Don Rebel. You have been watching the Rebel Yell podcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.